Everything is ready in this spectacular city, and we are ready for history in the making. For the first time, China is hosting the world. So, as they say, let the games begin. Hello, I'm Matthew White. Welcome to Beijing and the start of Seven's coverage of the 2008 Olympic Games. This is where it all happens. Now, yes, we are kicking off a little bit early. The opening ceremony, of course, is tomorrow night. But this is a very important night for Australian football and the Olyroos, who begin their campaign against Serbia. Now, also tonight, I'm joined by Chris Barth at the news desk. Good evening to you, Chris. You're going to have a major announcement for us tonight.
Will indeed, Matt. The Australian team is currently at the Sofitel in downtown Beijing to find out who will carry the flag at the opening ceremony. Our own Bruce McAvaney is hosting the event. We will have the announcement for you as soon as it comes in. And Matt, I know you'll be excited about this. Princess Mary of Denmark is there supporting the Aussies tonight. Not quite sure what the Danes will make of that, though.
Nice one. We'll find out who's going to be the king or the queen of the Australian team with that flag announcement. We'll get back to you straight away, Chris. Thank you. Now, the football competition is split into 4 groups of 4 teams. Australia is in Group A, and tonight's match against Serbia is crucial because we also have to face the emerging African power, the Ivory Coast, and the defending Olympic champions Argentina in the preliminary stage. Now, the top 2 in each group will go through. Remember, Australia made the quarterfinals in Athens. Can they go further at these games? We're about to find out. This match, the first one, is at Shanghai Stadium. So let's get it started. Here's our commentator, Mike McCann.
Temperature 33 degrees, 55% humidity. The Australians won't mind these oppressive conditions. They have prepared well for it. As they line up, and in a few moments we will hear the national anthems of the competing nations. Moment for Archie Thompson. They're pumped up, aren't they, the Australian players, as we stand by now for the Serbian national anthem. What a moment for these Serbian players Serbia appearing at the Olympics as an independent state for the first time. Of course, it was a pretty ordinary experience last time round in Athens. As Serbia and Montenegro, they were trounced by an Australian side in the first round in what was Australia's biggest win in Olympic football. 5-1 the result there in Athens. And the only other time they met was back in Seoul in 1988 when Australia defeated Yugoslavia, which of course incorporated Serbian players. It was a huge upset then because Yugoslavia, the 84 bronze medalists, were the gold medal favourites. Here's the starting lineup for Australia. And Australia starting with the Reading goalkeeper there, Adam Federici, the back four, North, Milligan, Sporanovic and Topos Stanley. And the two up front there, Archie Thompson and the rookie, Rukavica. So Leia starting on the bench along with Mark Bridge and others. The Serbians, well, they have their captain and star Vladimir Stojkovic in goal. Alexander Kolarov from Lazio in Italy is another big name in the middle of the defence. Only one out-and-out striker has been named there, and that's George Rakic, who plays for Red Bull Salzburg in Austria. It's a star-studded team. Graham Arnold in charge of this Ollie Roos outfit. He has a lot to prove. He's done it tough over the last few years. Miroslav Djukic, the man in charge of Serbia. There had been reports he'd been replaced after the European Under-21 Championships, but here he is in charge at the Olympic Games. The whistle from the referee, Jerome Damon of South Africa, and we are underway in Shanghai at Shanghai Stadium. Australia and Serbia in a match that is the first of the matches at the Olympic Games football tournament for men, but by the same token it could prove to be the most crucial of them all, with the Australians' next game against Argentina on Sunday. And of course we know what Argentina are capable of. They won the gold medal in Athens in the first all South American final since 1928, and the Ivory Coast is the other team in this group. Archie Thompson, one of the three overage players in this Australian side, sending it back there for Topos Stanley. And just a little bit of miscommunication, I'd suggest, between the two Australians. All of which has given Serbia the first of the corners. It's going to be taken by Alexander Kolarov. Federici organising his defence. Into the near post. Back in the direction of Kolarov. Thompson with him. And Thompson does well to clear it away. Tangle at the halfway. It gives it back to Smiljanov. Damon giving the ball to the Australians. Long it was. It goes straight down to Stojkovic. The Serbian team finished runner-up in the European Under-21 Championships, and surprise packets when they did so. They seemed to be out of the tournament when they suffered a first-up defeat. But then they rebounded and they beat some very good teams along the way. Ended up making the final, but they lost 4-1 to a crack Belgium, Dutch outfit. They beat Belgium in the semi-finals, but couldn't mix it with the Netherlands in the final. Out it goes now to North. Skipper from Newcastle led his team, of course, to the A-League Championship. Very proud moment for Jade North. Sporanovic is back there helping him out now. With the yellow armband, the skipper Milligan sends it long, far too long for Thompson, and going down on the right side was Ruben Zatkovic as well. So North, Zatkovic, topless Stanley at the heart of the defensive unit. Stojkovic from Sporting Lisbon in Portugal. One of the overage players in this team. Topless Stanley got up high. Thompson. Interesting comments from Thompson when he arrived in Beijing for the Olympic Games. He was like a kid in a lolly shop. Just couldn't believe the excitement generated by the Olympic Games, and he feels at 29 years of age this is a huge moment in his career. Back from North. Milligan. Long for Carney, too long for Carney. The ball floating over the touchline. Carney, of course, North and Thompson, the three overage players selected by Graham Arnold. There was talk about names like Schwarzer, Kuhl, perhaps even Bresciano, but for one reason or another they were unavailable or weren't suitable, and I think Graham Arnold was very happy to pick the three he ended up with: Carney, North in the defence, and of course Thompson up front. Smiljanovic. Rajkovic, and back to the skipper. Over the years, the Serbian sides have been known to be excellent technically, very polished, but perhaps over recent time they've developed a more counter-attacking flair about them, as we see on that occasion. Sent forward by Tadic. Back to Federici. And they tend to wear teams down. Of the 5 goals they scored at the European Under-21 qualifiers, 4 of them came beyond the 62nd minute, which gives you an idea of the patience adopted by this team. They will wear teams down. They will defend stoutly and then counter-attack. Something the Australians will be watching for. Milligan. Now Thompson. Got the golden boots as Archie Thompson. Milligan. Sporanovic back in the middle, finds Carney. North sending it back to Sporanovic. He's regarded, Matthew Sporanovic, as one of the very promising up-and-coming players produced in Australia. Contracted to Nuremberg in Germany. And of course he made his full international debut against China recently. Federici forced to come out wide and send the ball over the touchline. Both teams just feeling their way at the moment. The Serbian side fancied by many as a dark horse to get a mix among the medals. The Australians, of course, have come in with high hopes. Having said that, an independent evaluation of ranking of the teams had Australia ranked at number 15 of the 16 teams in the tournament. So a big job ahead for the Australians. This is a very light ball being used. It's the ball that was launched back in February, called the Great Wall of China. An ugly, clumsy tackle that by Nikita Rukavica. He's the rookie of this team and surprised many when he was named in the squad. But he shows a lot of excitement, a lot of life down there, and I think Graham Arnold is banking on him being a good foil for Archie Thompson, and perhaps they can surprise a few people with their pace and create some chances that need to be taken, that haven't been taken in the last few matches. Now this is McClenaghan. Taken away by Tadic, and the clearance by Kolarov. Yes, the Australians not taking their chances in the warm-up matches. They've just come off a 3-week training campaign with 3 friendlies in Asia. That was basically to acclimatise, to get themselves ready for these oppressive conditions they have expected at the Olympic Games. And they were beaten in each of those games. Long from top of Stanley, off the head there by Zatkovic. Too wide for Thompson to pick it up. Despite those results, the Australians have remained upbeat. They've said it's a matter of taking the chances that they have created, and they were creating plenty. So they are upbeat, but the results certainly weren't falling their way, and it will take something of a change here at the Olympic Games for the Australians to achieve what they are setting out to do. Stojkovic. This is Tadic. On it goes now to Gulan. Over to the right. Sent on there by Tomovic. Moving the ball around now, the Serbian players, and causing some frustration there for Trent McClenaghan, who applied the challenge. And Tadic will pick himself up. McClenaghan playing at the moment for Hereford United. So 2 back there, Thompson and Rukavica, and Kolarov to take this free kick. Floating around, McClenaghan having his head on it, and over the goal line. So another corner coming the way of Serbia. Their coach Miroslav Djukic looking on. He has 11 of his 18 members of this squad playing in other countries, so they're getting plenty of international experience. Very talented young squad. In short there from Kolarov. In goes the shot. And the Australians keep it out. Whew. Plenty on that. Little back heel there for Tosic. And he had plenty, but it was Topper Stanley who managed to get a foot on the ball. Third corner coming up for Serbia. Talent on the pitch and plenty waiting in the wings for Serbia. As I mentioned, so impressive, and surprise packets at the European under-21s. That was in the Netherlands in 2007. They topped a group that included Italy, England and the Czech Republic after losing their first match. Rukavica unable to get there and held out well by Rajkovic. Graham Arnold with a bit to say about the shape of his team, the tactics they're employing out there. They're under a fair bit of pressure in the opening stages here. Tadic involved in that collision with Milligan. Awkward spot this for the Australians. 3 in the wall. Once again, it's going to be Kolarov with the free kick for Serbia. Straight into the wall. Serbia having most of the play in the first 14 minutes of this match. This is Rajkovic, 19-year-old who plays in the Netherlands. Finds Jovanovic. Carney. Cleverly done, working his way onto his favoured left. Long into the path of Thompson. Rajkovic is back there though. Safety first. Archie Thompson, the man who almost single-handedly gave Melbourne Victory the championship win in the A-League against Adelaide United 2 seasons ago. 5 goals in the decider. Wouldn't he like 5 here today? Long throw. Missing everyone. Waiting at the back there. Kolarov. Federici sending it long, well beyond the halfway. Over the line from McClenahan. So Alexander Kolarov again. To Tadic, back to Kolarov. Zatkovic in his way. Around Zatkovic now. Jovanovic. This is Tomovic. Working his way through Facer. Well, he did pretty well, but Sporanovic rather... the Australian defender, in fact it was Sporanovic who was in his way and making life difficult. There he is, Matthew Sporanovic, the youngster, just turned 20 years of age. Kolarov decides to send it out long to the right. Oh, that was a bit untidy from top of Stanley. And down goes Zoran Tosic. He very much released the ball when the challenge was made by the Australian. No one in particular. McClenahan was back there. Carney now. Rukavica. Free kick Australia's way. Long now. Carney. Flag didn't go up. Made a good run, a searching run down from the left. Smiljanovic. Almost into the hand of McClenahan. Still got it though, Tadic. Kolarov. At the halfway, Rajkovic. And across to Jovanovic. Tomovic. Top of Stanley. Smiljanovic. Now Kolarov. He's had plenty of the ball in the first 19 minutes of this match. The Australians can't clear it away, and now they could have a spot of bother here. This is Tadic. The shot from Gulan was blocked. But they are putting on plenty of pressure on the Australian defensive line. Yet another corner. Nicola Gulan, 19-year-old. Well, if the Australians can hold out for much longer, they'll be doing a good job. Any of the chances that have been created have been by the Serbs. Rakic. A little bit of attention required over the goal line. I'm sure he'll be back shortly. Rakic, one of the key players, 22-year-old from Red Bull Salzburg in Austria. He scored twice in 18 matches for Serbia. And he's the one they look for up forward in these matches. Shalik, and Thompson was offside. Offside by a good metre and a half perhaps. Kolarov working hard out on the left. Around Zatkovic. McClenahan. Clearance from North, making it to the halfway. That's a good ball. Top of Stanley. Shalik. McClenahan. Good ball out for Thompson. Thompson around one. Brought down. And the crowd there thinking there may have been a suggestion of a penalty, but nothing in that. Mishalik. Carney on the left. Carney winning the battle of club versus country. One of the overage players, but released by Sheffield United. Mishalik. Smiljanovic. Cleverly done there by Tosic. And And now a chance down the right side there by the Serbian players there. This is Tosic. Tosic! Well, it was hard and it was powerful, but it was wide. But I'm sure there would be some reason for optimism here by Miroslav Djukic, and some concerns I'd suggest for Graham Arnold, his opposite number. Long from Milligan. Rukavica. Well, there was some blood spilt there a little while ago, and this is the end result. So Rakic will re-emerge, I'm sure, but looking a little different than he did before. Long throw from Milligan. Oh, tangle up there from Stojkovic. So they're trying everything out there with Rakic at the moment. Try to stem that flow of blood. It happened quite some minutes ago, but the Serbian medical staff doing everything everything in their power to try to get him back out onto the pitch. Long from Kolarov. And Federici takes it for Australia. Australia 0, Serbia 0 after 24 minutes. Shalik. McClenahan. So now Carney. And still it goes on for Rakic. Now, chance for Australia. Carney. And there was some pushing or holding going on back there. Milligan getting the word from the referee, Jerome Damon of South Africa. And finally, George Rakic is back. Looking a little worse for wear, but they've done the job. This is one of 11 matches being played in Shanghai. This stadium has a capacity of 80,000. It's not filled to capacity at the moment, but until a few months ago it was the biggest stadium in China. That honour now lies with the National Stadium, of course, here in Beijing. Cleverly done. Kolarov. Tadic. He sees now Gulan. Now Gulan has Zatkovic in the way. Gets around one. Now Milligan. And sends it over to the far side. Tomovic. Tosic. And a loose ball there, giving the ball back momentarily to Australia. Rajkovic long and wide. Powerful left foot just off target. This as part of the former Yugoslavia, the Serbian players have now competed in 12 Olympic Games and they've scored more goals than any other country. Gold medalists back in 1960 in Rome. Before that, silver medalists in 3 Olympics in a row. And the bronze in Los Angeles in 1984. Such a proud record. And looking to re-emerge here as an independent state. Tadic got it past Thompson. Kolarov sending it back. The Australians are defending stoutly at the moment, but Serbia are applying plenty of pressure. Fazer out wide. Ivanovic finds now Rajkovic and Kolarov. Tadic through the middle. Here's the masked man, Rakic. George Rakic took a deflection on its way to top of Stanley. He's still the worse for wear. There's George Rakic. Came off top of Stanley, so there's going to be yet another corner awarded to Serbia. Kolarov has scored twice in internationals. He won't with that though. Well, that was a total missed kick. He put that into overdrive and the slight breeze caught it. And it went everywhere but where it was intended to go. "30 minutes gone in the first half now. Serbia, despite their chances, yet to open the scoring. Now North. Milligan. Carney, what can he do? Shalik. Australians holding onto the ball at the moment. North. Now tries to find someone down the right, and someone was Rukavica. Gulan. Tadic. Has it again. Has to get past Milligan. Well, Milligan got an ankle tap in there. And now he needs some attention. The Australian skipper was out of favour through missing a training camp earlier. And that's what happened. He came in on the end of the kick from Tadic. And it got him on the lower calf muscle. And that can be quite painful. Such an important player in the Australian defensive unit is Mark Milligan. Carney out there trying to overcome the oppressive conditions. The Australians have made a lot of the conditions that they were expecting at the Olympic Games in their preparation. They played in the Malaysian Cup where they were runners-up to Nigeria. They played a match in the northern Australian city of Darwin. And of course they had 3 weeks and 3 matches of preparations in Asia, looking for every advantage, and they felt that certainly that's one advantage that they would have over the likes of Serbia, those warm weather conditions. So Milligan getting some treatment now. Mishalik. As we see Milligan making his way back onto the pitch, and he will take the ball. McClenahan. Zatkovic, who's just completed a transfer to Derby County. Exciting player is the 22-year-old. Stojkovic hasn't had all that much to do in the first 34.5 minutes of this match. Rakic, well, he's unhappy with the treatment that he was given then. And I was wondering, as the ball was floating through the air, how he would approach the prospect of a header with that head wound that he's suffering. Tomovic. Well, the tackle was on Facer. Topper Stanley in the middle of things once again.
We'll take you now to the Sofitel in downtown Beijing, where Australia's Olympic team is gathered to find out who will carry the Australian flag during tomorrow night's opening ceremony.
And now, by tradition, it is my pleasant task to announce the identity of the athlete who will carry Australia's flag during the Olympic opening ceremony tomorrow. Our flag bearer is James Tompkins. He is a wonderful multi-Olympian, 3 times a gold medalist, and also the winner in Sydney of a bronze medal. To me, he's very special. He comes from my sport, the noble sport of rowing.
And at half-time, we'll hear from a very happy James Tompkins, but right now we'll go back to the football, where Serbia and the Olyroos remain locked at 0-0.
So again, it's a corner for Serbia. In fact, it won't be a corner. It is going to be a ball from just inside the touchline. Gulan. Swinging back. The Australians back there in numbers. Headed away. Now lobbed over the top. Now to Tadic. Deep in the corner. Kolarov. Gulan will take this corner. In goes the shot. It's taken the crossbar over the top from Rakic. And Oh dear, oh dear. Well, the shot came in long from Tosic. And it almost squeezed underneath and into the net. And there came the opportunity from Rakic. But with the boot up, the call went Australia's way. They're living dangerously, the Australians, but no damage done as yet. Carney. There's always an element of excitement whenever David Carney gets near the ball. It's happened on 4 or 5 occasions in this first half. He seems the most likely to create something. Milligan. Zatkovic tried to go around the corner with it. Back from Carney. North. Mishalik. Top of Stanley's down there. They'll bring it back again through Sporanovic. Oh, he beats 2. Matthew Sporanovic. Brilliant solo effort by Matthew Sporanovic. And Vladimir Stojkovic was there to save it for Serbia. What a delightful run. Such skill. He was right on target, but Stojkovic didn't need to move all that far. Best moment for the Australians in the match so far. Rakic. Federici, the man playing for Reading in England, getting the starting berth in goal for Australia. McClenahan brought down. Trent McClenahan, another plying his wares in England at the moment with Hereford United. Now a regular in the first team. Milligan. Top of Stanley. Gets up high, but hands in the back. Some interference, some pushing. I'm not sure that Graham Arnold agreed necessarily with that, but clearly the hand over the shoulder.
This telecast is proudly brought to you by Coles, Bendigo Bank, Chicken Feed and Harvey Norman.
This update is brought to you by Aurora. Save energy, save money at auroraenergy.com.au. It's that simple.
Good evening, everyone. Jo Palmer wrapping up the day's news. The former ministerial driver at the centre of legal claims against Paula Reid says he's frustrated at being unable to speak out over their affair and isn't seeking an ex gratia payment from the state government. In the wake of the minister's health crisis, it's been revealed she could soon be facing anti-discrimination proceedings. A 37-year-old man who attempted to murder his longtime partner in a jealous rage has been sentenced to 8 years in jail. Robert Peter Gaffney stabbed public servant Susie Jacobson in the throat after discovering a pregnancy test exposing her affair. And Buckingham Palace has made a rare public statement to deny media reports that Prince Philip is suffering from prostate cancer. That's all from the news team. Good night.
Introducing KFC's Family Fun Bucket with Pictionary Mania, including a variety of everyone's favourite KFC chicken and sides, plus all the fun of Pictionary Mania.
A ballerina!
KFC's Family Fun Bucket.
Celebrate 80808 at Harvey Norman. Lucky 8 deals store live. From 8am, get a cordless phone, $18. Colour TVs from just $88. Player's own pillow, $8. More in store Friday only, 8 till 8. Celebrate and save at Harvey Norman.
Aussie electro house phenomenon Vandalism are on a search and destroy mission to annihilate your senses at Hotel Soho this Monday night. Tickets are $20 from Rough Cut Records and Hotel Soho. Doors open from 9pm. Hotel Soho, back where it's at.
ITP know about one certainty in your life, tax. No matter how you approach it, it's always changing. Do you understand your obligations and everything you're entitled to? Sure, you can do it yourself, but chances are you'll end up in the red. Your friendly local ITP consultant knows the latest tax for individuals, businesses, partnerships, companies, rental properties and BAS. And we're fast, super fast. Plus, you could win a Sony LCD TV valued at $2,099, which could really maximise your return. ITP, I feel good. Buy any tank in the Tank World range, either poly or fiberglass, and for just $150 extra, receive a QB70 high-flow constant pressure pump. Yes, from the smallest to the largest tank, for an extra $150, get a high-flow pump, all delivered to your door. Ring Tank World now.
Why should people bank at the Bendigo? Well, at Bendigo Bank, we concentrate on you. With great products and service to a T.
So very much, so much in fact, I gotta wake you up. It's not that I have words to speak.
And when you bank at the Bendigo, everyone in the community can see the benefits. At the Bendigo, it starts with you.
Celebrate 80808 at Harvey Norman. Lucky 8 deals store live. From 8am, get a cordless phone, $18. Colour TVs from just $88. Player's own pillow, $8. More in store Friday only, 8 till 8. Celebrate and save at Harvey Norman.
The race to the finals has been exhilarating.
And he hammers it home.
Can the Magpies stop their season from free-falling against the Saints? Collingwood St Kilda.
40 minutes have elapsed in this opening Group A encounter between Australia and Serbia. Kolarov. Gulan. Back to the halfway, he finds Jovanovic. This is Tadic. Now Kolarov again. Well, just pushing it through. I think there was a breakdown of communication. Gulan was not expecting it at the time, whereas I think there was the expectation that Gulan would have made the run. North. Rukavica using his pace. Carney trying to get through. There's Rakic now, so the head bandage has disappeared despite the efforts of the medical staff. I'm sure he'll receive further treatment in about 3 or 4 minutes from now at half time. Interesting haircut that from Ruben Zatkovic. Topper Stanley from the side. As we close in on half-time at the Shanghai Stadium. Long chance now for Thompson. Just a little too much on it. Archie Thompson, the man who once scored 13 goals, a world record in an international for Australia against American Samoa some years ago now. Plenty of pushing going on. It's been a forgettable first half for this man, George Rakic. I think it's been a forgettable time also for the medical staff, who have tried desperately to solve the problem with that head wound. Long from Federici. Carney out wide. Now, was he onside? Rukavica. Oh, into the path of Carney, but getting back there and blocking it was Kolarov. Well, Australia will take a corner, though. That was a lovely ball from Rukavica. Or rather from Zatkovic, I should say. Carney. The left foot will curl the ball back in towards the goals. Thompson was there. Well, Australia's starting to create a little more the further this half goes on, but certainly it's been a half that has been dominated by Serbia without anything to show for it. He's away now, Tadic. Tadic still going. Now Kolarov. Facer. Tosic. Tosic! Oh, Federici, what a save! A bullet-like shot from Tosic. And Federici was right in the firing line. It had plenty on it. Australia will bring it back now. Charlie couldn't quite get there. Now Smiljanovic. Tomovic, top of Stanley, Carney, and back it goes to Sporanovic. We're into time added on in this first half. And I think under the circumstances, Australia will be happy going in with the score line as it is, despite the fact that they've created a little more in the closing moments. Thompson. Thompson still going to Carney. He's got white shirts all the way in front of him, and as a result, he forced it out wide to Thompson. You can see why Graham Arnold worked so hard to secure the services of David Carney. Such an important member out on the left. Over the top goes Zatkovic. Right on the half-time whistle. Well, an entertaining first half at the Shanghai Stadium. Rakic has been in the thick of the action. And perhaps Serbia would rue some opportunities that haven't been taken. But the Australians have defended stoutly. So half-time in this Group A encounter between Australia and Serbia. And the score remains as it was at the start. Australia 0, Serbia 0. The signal from the referee to start the second half of this match at Shanghai Stadium. Australia and Serbia locked together at 0-0. And Serbia will start with the ball. Mishalik for Australia. Top of Stanley. I would imagine the message at half-time was, from a Serbian point of view, to keep putting the pressure on the Australians, and surely the goals will come. The Australians, on the other hand, needing to show their pace and their fitness in this second half, as they are well and truly acclimatised to these oppressive conditions, much more so than their Eastern European rivals. It should be a fascinating encounter in the second 45 minutes of this match. Out wide for Topper Stanley. Mishalik. So he spots now. Well, he spots McClenaghan out wide. Couldn't control it. I'm sure the fact that Serbia finished their matches so well is something that Graham Arnold and the Australian coaching staff are only too well aware of. The fact that 4 of their 5 goals in the European qualifiers came beyond the 62-minute mark in the last half hour of the match. From that point of view, they've finished strongly. Will they be able to do that in these hot conditions in Shanghai? Untidy clearance, but effective from Tosic, from Gulan. Intercepted there by Mishalik. Being busy in the midfield. Nice ball there for Thompson. Looking for some support. A lot of hanging on down there. Clearance from Jovanovic. Top of Stanley. Cleverly done by Tosic. He's a brilliant player. Tosic bouncing on its way to Federici. Well, he's highly regarded. He's keenly sought after as Tosic. A lot of clubs were after his signature. He decided to stay in Serbia. Thompson offside. Second offside call of the match. Both against Australia. In the first half, the official statistics indicated 6 shots on goal for Serbia, 2 for Australia. And of course, well in front on the corner count by a means of 6-1. Rakic. Not sure if he'll sleep well tonight or not. This time under pressure there from Jade North. And yeah, the Great Wall Stars all lined up. The ball being used in the Olympic tournament. So long from Kolarov. Still with Serbia. Tomovic. Facer. Now this is Rajkovic. And North is happy to see it over the goal line. Spiranovic. Must be said, the Australian back 4 have held up very well. They've been under a lot of pressure in the match, but North, Spiranovic, Topper Stanley, they've all done a very good job, and of course Mark Milligan as well. Tosic brought down, so he is fouled, and this is going to be a yellow card, the first yellow card of the match. It was clumsy. Sporanovic getting under the legs there of Zoran Tosic. So first yellow card of the tournament. Long, causing Federici no concern whatsoever. Carney feeding it out wide, but on the end of it was Jovanovic. Rakic not concerned about using the head despite the wound. North sending it back to Federici. Carney up high. Smiljaninovic. Nicely done there by the Australian defender. Tomovic. Tosic. That was loose. That was poor, because in comes Zatkovic. Zatkovic sending it out wide. And the shot came in from Rukavica. It was optimistic. Just didn't quite get enough on it. Topper Stanley. Kolarov. Gulan. So Serbia building up from the halfway. Tomovic. Now this is Tosic. Well, he's brought down and Musalik stopped. I think he was expecting the whistle. Well, that was strange. Play came to a standstill. There was no indication to do so. This is Tadic. Clenahan out there with him. So it's going to be a corner for Serbia. And the first of the substitutions about to be made by Miroslav Djukic. Once again, this corner is going to be taken by Alexander Kolarov. Well, poor attempt at the clearance by Australia. In goes the shot from Tosic. Smiljaninovic. Federici, no concerns. Long, two Australians down there. The goalkeeper is way out of the box. Topper Stanley. Milligan. Sporanovic is up with it again. Now he's got the support from Musalik. Carney working his way onto his right, really, when he fancied his left. Thompson. Wide for Topper Stanley, who runs into the linesman. Still using the head, and into the path there of Tosic. Tosic, the danger man, loves it on the left. still there. Facer. And finally Spranovic sends it over the side. So now the first of those substitutions, and Rakic indeed the man coming off. Well, he's done pretty well to stay out there for so long with that injury. He's always looked dangerous, but he has been in some discomfort. And he takes his rest. Smiljanovic. Now Mishalik. Now that's a likely ball for Australia. Thompson, can he get down there? No. Fascinating to see how this match unfolds over the remaining 34 minutes. 0-0 at the moment. Tadic. Kolarov working his way around Zavkovic. They're hemmed in on that far touchline. Smiljanovic. Back it goes now to Gulan. Around Milligan. Oh, clever ball. Delightful ball. Gee, that was good work by Jovanovic. Milligan. Zatkovic. Kolarov. Finds now Jovanovic. There's been a lot of long balls in this match to date. Kolarov. He really is a classy player down that left side. Topper Stanley had to quickly get across. It was not too far away, and closing in fast was the danger man Zoran Tosic. What a lovely ball that was from Dusan Tadic. Facer. And now Tomovic to Gulan. Out wide again. Facer. Topper Stanley got it at back though. And Tomovic now. That was the man who came on as a substitute. Radakovic. A yellow card going to the Australian out there. McClenahan. Trent McClenahan going into the book. This is a good passage of play for Serbia. In the last 5 to 10 minutes, they've had plenty of it. And they've still got plenty of it. Tadic. So 2 Australians with yellow cards at the moment. Kolarov. Thompson is able to clear it away for Australia. Stojkovic. Gulan. Well, how did he get that back? Because of a mix-up by the Australians. That's how. Tomovic. Tomovic to the far post, beyond the far post. The result here so important for both these teams, with Argentina, the defending champions, ahead, and also the Ivory Coast, the outstanding team in the African qualifiers. Now Tosic, what can he do? Tosic! Well, Federici went down, and I'm wondering, it must have taken a deflection on its way through, because Federici ended up, let's just have another look at how this unfolded. Tosic, and off the toe. Yep. Hence Federici. No, not ruled that way. Ended up being a goal kick. And the Australians will take that. It's Argentina and the Ivory Coast to come. And so many outstanding teams in this competition. In Group B, the Netherlands, Nigeria, and Brazil, 5 times World Cup winners in Group C, but have never won an Olympic Games gold medal. And the pundits are suggesting that Brazil versus Argentina could be the dream gold medal match. It may well happen. Let's not forget about Italy either in Group D. Reigning World Cup champions. Australia continue to hold out Serbia. Inside the last half hour. On the clock shows 62 minutes. And that's that magic number that we've spoken about. And 4 of Serbia's 5 goals have been scored beyond that mark in the qualifying tournament. That's not necessarily in the heat though. How will they cope here? Nice ball across the face. Still there though. Facer. Carney with him. Tomovic. Still going. Well, perhaps he could have been a little more selfish then and had a shot. Thompson. I must say, it hasn't been in that half all that often in this period after half-time. Not always a good sign when the crowd gets involved in a Mexican wave. Perhaps a little impatience creeping in. Milligan. Chinese have embraced football. In fact, the first major international sporting event held in China was the Under-17 FIFA World Cup back in 1985. The Women's World Cup was held here last year. So a feast of football with other major events. And the Chinese have certainly adopted the world game. Some distance into the path of the Australians, who have to scurry to keep it out. Carney. Well, Thompson goes down, and Graham Arnold on the sideline there indicating all accidental. And this time it's Tadic who goes down. Thought he may have been fouled. perhaps there's a case there. Jade North, the opposing player for Australia. First of the Australian substitutions to be made. Mark Milligan will make way for Billy Selesky. So the skipper handing over the yellow armband, and it's going to be taken up there by Stuart Michalik. Milligan off. And you see the Australian players down there quickly rehydrating. I think they were perhaps expecting even warmer conditions, but 33 degrees, 55% humidity in an Olympic football tournament makes it tough enough. So Federici given back possession by Serbia. Michalik. Now North. Thompson. Carney. And out wide, too wide for Thomas Stanley. Who's just been replaced for Australia. Kolarov. Tadic. Big chance now for Serbia. Serbia with a chance through Facer. Well, it was open, only the goalkeeper to beat. It just opened up for him, and I think he'd be disappointed with that. A little off balance as he finally got his shot away, and it didn't force Federici to make the save. Will the game start to open up? Will the heat start to take its toll on Serbia? Or will this patient approach by the Serbians reap their rewards? Carney. Carney gets through. David Carney. Australia with a chance. Australia with a goal. Ruben Zatkovic as Australia take the lead. It has come against the run of play, but what a run it was by David Carney getting through. Stojkovic went down, and in came Zatkovic from the right. And what joy for the Australians.
This weather update brought to you by Euphoria Furniture, the Hobart home of quality, style and value.
And Serbia now find themselves trailing by a goal. Well, the question marks about how this match would reach its conclusion, we're starting to find out. In the last half hour, would it be Serbia? Would it be Australia? Perhaps it'll still be Serbia, but the Australians have struck first. Rukavica. And now his opposite number, Tosic. Tosic, who'd like to run onto the left. The green numbers get back. And down goes Smiljanovic. And he has earned himself a free kick. Smiljanovic fouled just outside of the box. David Carney can't believe it, but it's there. So the Australians quickly have to organise themselves. Australia scored only 60 seconds ago. Now the chance for Serbia to counter. Federici back there. A huge wall in place by the Olyroos. It's going to be Kolarov. The wall being taken back half a metre. Kolarov with the free kick. Kolarov through and Federici makes the save. Diving away to his right. And the Australians are pumped up, having scored the goal only a couple of minutes ago, and that was a very good save by Federici. He would have been unsighted for some moments, but he was able to quickly get across and keep it out. Another corner to Serbia. Over the top. The header from Rajkovic. So it's Australia leading Serbia 1-0 at the Shanghai Stadium. The substitution being made. Gulan is coming off and he's being replaced by Katsa. Gojko Katsa, 21-year-old. Smiljanovic. With his first touch of the ball, but not for long, because the goal scorer for Australia took it away. That was Zatkovic. Zatkovic, a 22-year-old from Derby County, having just transferred to Derby County from Sydney FC and scoring the biggest goal of his career. It's a good ball now. Rukavica. Australia with another chance. Oh, and it's taken the post. Billy Selesky cannot believe it. Tosic. Quick counter-attack for Serbia. Tosic. May have almost been a handball in there from the Australian defenders. Smiljanovic. Facer. Tomovic. And Zatkovic gets it back. Well, this tempo has really lifted since the Australian goal. You think that the more up-tempo the game is being played, the more it would favour the Australians, who should be the fitter or more acclimatised team to these conditions. Tomovic. Facer. Tomovic to take it from the side. Crowd who were showing some unrest a little while ago, very much focused on the game now. 75 minutes gone. Australia leading by a goal. And now Katza. Katza gets through. Katza. Chance for... Oh dear. And he got through, but then the whistle went. Let's see why that was exactly. Katza bringing down the Australian there in Mushalik. Now Christian Sarkis is going to be the next man on for the Olyroos, replacing Archie Thompson. Sarkis recognised as the dead ball specialist in this Australian team. There it was Zaleski at the other end, and that was so close to being a second Australian goal. A hand on it, a glove on it from Stojkovic, forcing it into the post. Katza, and now Serbia with a chance to equalise. What a great save it was from Sprevanovic. Sliding across as the shot was being made there by the substitute who came on, number 14, Radakovic. So Nikita Rukavica. A bit of bother out there. Yet another corner for Serbia. They're mounting up. Serbia yet to convert any of their chances. This is Alexander Zivkovic. Play held up for a moment, but with Rukavica leaving the field for the Olyroos. Corner for Serbia to the far post. Federici got up high, got a glove on it. It is warm work out there. From the far side now. Zivkovic. Zivka, there's the equaliser. Serbia have struck back. A delightful corner and a brilliant header into the back of the net. And Serbia have made it 1-1. Rajkovic it is who has scored the goal. And Serbia strike back. The corner coming in, floating away, and this tall man, Slobodan Rajkovic, gets up to score his first international goal. 1-1 now. Carney. So 78 minutes have gone. 2 goals have been scored in the space of 9 minutes. And we are deadlocked once again. It's with David Carney. Shalik. Zatkovic, but straight into the path of Kolarov. Clenahan. It's Rukavica who's back out there for Australia. Zoran Tosic has been a dangerous player out there in this match. Always looks likely, creates opportunities, And finally, Serbia are able to take one of them. Topper Stanley. We're at the 80-minute mark now. 10 minutes plus injury time remaining. It's 1-1. Selesky working it back into the path of North. And now Zatkovic. McClenahan. Katsa. Zivkovic. There is Tadic. Back with Australia. Katsa working it out wide. Zivkovic. And Federici gleefully takes it. Spiranovic for Australia. Jovanovic for Serbia. Carney couldn't quite get there in time. And now Zivkovic. And now, well, it was almost Djordjevic. Topper Stanley. Carney, did well, did very well. Works onto his right, which he preferred not to. The shot comes in though. Sarkis it was. And it's Tosic who finds himself on the turf, on this beautifully manicured turf. It has got to be pointed out at Shanghai Stadium. Shanghai is one of the 6 co-host cities of the Games of the 29th Olympiad. Just as we had for Sydney 2000, Brisbane, Canberra and Melbourne hosted football matches. And Shanghai, one of the other centres hosting football matches at the Beijing Olympics. Yellow card given out there. So the Australians have picked up 2. And Serbia now with their first yellow. There will be quite a bit of time added on at the completion of the 90 minutes. There have been a few stoppages. It's Australia 1, Serbia 1. Carney. And Stojkovic will take the goal kick. Regardless of the result here, it's been a much better outing for Serbia than it was 4 years ago as Serbia-Montenegro in Athens. Topper Stanley down. And the foul has been given there. Tosic going over the top. I'm not sure about that call. Tosic it was who was fouled according to the referee. And Nikolai Topper Stanley it is now. A dangerous position this. Just outside of the penalty area. Serbia having claimed the second goal of the match. Zivkovic. Who's going to take it? Tosic into the wall. Means there's going to be another corner for Serbia. And remember, that's how their goal came about, after a corner on the far side. And that's exactly it. From the near side, another corner, and well taken by Federici. Rukavica on now to McClenahan. Stolen though by Kolarov. Zivkovic. Tosic. Now Kolarov to Katza. Well, Federici was waiting for it, but just to make sure, Matthew Sporanovic, perhaps unsure exactly of the whereabouts of Federici, sent it over the line. Just under 4 minutes of time remaining before we get to any injury time. Another corner for Serbia. Up high once again. He scored a little earlier, and it was almost a second. Another chance for Serbia. Carney. Surely there was some holding there on Rukavica. Back to Carney. Took a deflection from Rajkovic. Top of Stanley. He was looking to put it back to Carney. Mark Bridge, the scorer of the winning goal in his team's grand final championship match in Australia last year. And he replaces Nikita Rukavica. Zaleski. Zadkovic. Top of Stanley. Now Carney to the far side. Zadkovic will take it from the side. Bridge was there, battling away for the ball. Cleared away though by Serbia, out to Kolarov, now to Tadic. Some real urgency out there as the seconds tick away. 1-1 the scoreline. Facer. Tadic. Top of Stanley. I think there was the expectation there from Sarkis that the ball would go out. Stojkovic. In fact, the ball did go out further back up the pitch. Tomovic takes it and receives it. Spiljanovic thought he was being held. No whistle. Katza out wide. Kolarov. 4 minutes of additional time. It will seem like an eternity. both of these sides, it'll be okay if you're on the winning team if there is an extra goal. But in terms of defending, there is the first Australian, or the first goal, the only goal by the Australians. Ruben Zatkovic at the 79th minute. And it didn't take long for Serbia to strike back. It's been an entertaining second half. But for all their efforts, these teams might go home tonight with a point apiece. Knowing, of course, that they have the defending champions Argentina to come. And then the Ivory Coast. And the Ivory Coast should not be underestimated by any means, given the fact that African countries have won 2 of the last 3 gold medals. Here is Tosic. Here was Zitkovic, but there was Franovic for Australia. He is thought of so highly, and I'm sure that he will be an Australian representative for some years to come. He's already made his Socceroo, his major international debut. Topper Stanley forced to clear it away. Corners everywhere for Serbia. 1 goal scored from corners, but they've had plenty of other chances. Bridge. Good ball from Mark Bridge. Zaleski. Still at least a couple of minutes remaining. Zatkovic. Zaleski, a second opportunity. Stojkovic. Serbia on the attack once again. Tadic, who does well. And the Australians quickly back there. McClenahan did very well. Around a minute and a half remaining. Federici chipping the ball not quite to the halfway. Mishalik. That time it's a longer clearance. Tosic. The Australians won't want him to get onto his left. And now Topper Stanley. And now Bridge. Inside the last 60 seconds, surely. Tomovic. Tadic. Katsa. Tomovic has been running hard throughout the match. Katsa again. Katsa a second time. Katsa straight to Federici. And perhaps that was the last opportunity for Serbia. The referee holds up his hands and signals full time. Well, they worked hard, both of these teams. Australia scoring a goal against the run of play deep into the second half, and then Serbia taking one of their chances just 9 minutes later. And that evened the scoreline at 1-1. And that is the way it has finished here at Shanghai Stadium in this Group A encounter. Australia 1, Serbia 1.
Mike McCann, our commentator.